Gratitude.
Ownership.
Leadership. Discipline.
All right, we're here. It's homecoming week.
Homecoming, baby.
You just came off a bye week, and
Yes.
so this week is kind of normal except for
Right.
all the Disney in the air.
Yeah. It always feels kind of weird having a bye week. It's nice in a lot of regards, but you kind of Friday night you're like, what am I doing? During football season, and so it's good to catch up with some family time and all those kind of things. But I told our guys bye weeks are fun, but playing football is much more fun.
Well, yes. It's always kind of fun to win a game.
Right.
So one of the hard things about being Choctaw is every 2 years it seems like we go east, west, east,
Right.
west, east, west. We're just kind of a swing in where
Right.
the state is. Of course, we don't care if we're east or west. Eventually you're gonna have to beat the best of the east
Right.
or the best of the west. But just here's our schedule. It's pretty nice. We got Putnam City North for homecoming this week. And with Putnam cities, you never know who's going to be good, who's not going to be good. We just know that they're going to have athletes.
Yeah.
And
They'll be talented.
so we'll talk a little bit about them. Then we got Northwest Classen at Taft Stadium, a historic stadium that the Oklahoma City Energy went in there and redid the field,
Right,
redid
it's
some
really nice.
things. It is really nice, awesome field. Then what all the fans, and I'm looking forward to, is Deer Creek.
Right.
Here, Bill Jensen Field. After that, we got Northwest. I'm going back. I did it wrong. We had Capitol Hill, then Deer Creek,
Right.
then Northwest Classen, then Lawton here, Putnam City, and we're going to finish out senior night Ponca City. So that's our schedule.
Right.
Pretty good schedule, although there's some teams. So let's just talk about what are we looking for. Putnam City tonight, Putnam North, the Panthers. What do they got?
Well, like you mentioned, they're going to be well coached. They're athletic. It's PC North. There was a time when Choctaw never beaten PC North.
That's right.
2017, first time. We're able to do it, and so it's like we've been able to kind of get some back and forth, and we've been pretty fortunate to be able to play them fairly tough, over the years. But they'll be big and physical and fast and all those things, and well coached, and it's a historic program. It's had a lot of success, and so they come in here. I feel like, you're watching their film and you're like, man, I feel like they're just a couple plays away, on each loss that they've had, and they're really, really close. And, you're trying to make sure as a coach that you do the best job you can of not letting them figure it out on the night that you're playing them.
Right.
I think they have a future. I think that they can get it together. They're have some young guys at different spots, but they're talented. And you're kind of like, man, they're just, a penalty here or a turnover here or whatever from really being able to turn it on and win some of these games that they've fallen short on. So, it's not, you look at them and go, man, these guys are, absent of talent. That's not the case at all. These guys are talented. They're still PC North. They're still the Panthers. They're still really tough, and they have our full attention.
Well, and Choctaw, and we'll talk about the uniforms, but even they're not on the uniforms. We have a giant circle, like a target on our backs, because we're the hunted. I think us and Deer Creek on the west side are the teams that everybody wants to prove themselves on. And so every week you're going to be facing a team that, we can make our season off beating you.
Yeah, no doubt. And, that a couple of years ago, that was kind of an adjustment, I feel like, for our program, is go from being, hunting each week to being the hunted.
Right.
That's kind of but we're used to that now. We understand that, we have a target on our back. Everyone wants to come give us their best game, and that we appreciate that. So it's, we wear that badge with honor, but we're also fully aware that, we get everyone's best game. Everyone's best games that come in here, as you mentioned, if they get a chance to try to knock us off. Obviously they'll it could potentially, as you mentioned, make a season for someone, and we don't take that lightly, and we make sure that we give our best too, regardless of the opponent. We talk about internally, and sometimes it comes across as coach talk, but it really is true. If you give your best, it doesn't matter who the opponent is. You have to show up and give your best each and every day, regardless of if you think it's a great opponent or not. But we have a job to do, and let's get better each and every week, and that's always our focus.
Well, that's good to hear, and I know I've been talking to the players a little bit. They're ready to get back at it.
Everybody's kind of itching to get back on the field.
Starting district with homecoming, that's pretty exciting because the entire town's going to be out. Right. From what I understand, all the students are going to be wearing gold.
Yeah, gold out. Homecoming Choctaw is really cool. I tell my new coaches that if they're new to the district, like, man, it's Choctaw is such a wonderful place because you get, it's a big school with a kind of a small town feel, and I think the parade really showcases that and allows, the whole community and, and I love seeing the little kids and and I asked our guys in the team room this week. I said, how many of you guys have watched the parade and watched the football guys go through in their lifetime? And it's 95% of hands go up is like they remember being little kids watching the football guys go by, and so they can remember how special that was when the football guys acknowledge them, and now they're excited to be able to kind of pay that back, and and they kind of makes them puff their chests up a little bit more and feel a little bit more proud because we understand that we're not just representing ourselves, representing this community, in the future Choctaw Yellow Jacks that are going to come through, the system. And I just think that's what makes this community so special. Is I love being able to coach these guys from when they're 5 years old all the way up to 18. And it's a really cool deal that we can do in Choctaw.
So what was your float game? Obviously we record this. It's not live,
right?
But yesterday was the parade. What was your float game like?
Yeah, the float game always up to parents. So and what parents want, parents get. So I stay out of the float.
So it's a little bit of a mystery. I might have to try to get some footage and put it here.
Yeah, I tell them like, hey, make it as special as you want. We try to take care of the game plan. If they want to take care of the floats, that's great. But I always appreciate when they allow me to not have to walk the whole time. And so if I can jump on the back of a handbell, I go ahead and do it. And then we try to load up on enough candy because the saddest thing is exiting Harper, to get on 10th Street and you're out of candy, and you have to face the disappointment of the young boys and girls that want the candy. You don't have the candy, and you're like, guys, I'm so sorry, I don't have it. So I've learned my lesson in years past to stock up on extra because that last turn there's going to be a lot, and you pull into the high school and there's a lot too, and I always feel for those kids. So we try to learn our lessons and make sure that we're able to have plenty for those guys.
Well, as a retired coach, here's the strategy. I would hide some candy because the 8th graders would end up dumping all the candy before we would leave the park.
Right.
And so we'd hide some candy. Go, oh, look here! I got another bag of candy for those kids at the end.
Hiding strategy. I like it.
So it's a little trick play.
Right.
So,
I like it.
I had some trick plays in there. Well, the parade is exciting time. This whole week is exciting time.
Yes,
of course, it's Disney. All the people dressing up like Disney all week. And really, we got this coaches show just to be excited. But every single person is going to come out tonight. It feels like it on homecoming in Choctaw.
Big deal.
What are we going to see? What are the uniforms? Because that's always important to me. What are the uniforms going to look like?
Right. We have a special debut and some uniforms tonight.
Oh
that, we're fortunate to have, and so first time for them. So stay tuned for that. But they're pretty cool. Players are super excited about them. We released a little preview of it last Friday, the Friday of the bye week. Get them kind of a little extra juice for tonight, and kids get excited about those things and they enjoy them.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise to the community. The kids already kind of know what's coming, but they haven't seen them live, so we're excited about it.
So if you can't make it to the game, of course, we'll debut it on Yellow Jackets TV.
Yellow Jack TV, baby, gotta watch it. Yeah,
we'll be there.
TV.
We'll be there. Hey, we could talk and talk and talk, but it's time to play some football.
Let's go.
And so until next week. Stay classy, Choctaw.